Hello, YouTubers. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today with Otis and I, or Otis and me, excuse me. Yes, so glad to be here. And, I look and I watch everything that is going on with this couple, and I'm just sitting and I'm just eating my popcorn. I'm just like, what? I'm like, what? Are you serious? Cannot believe the ignorance of this couple. And, as a lot of you know, I teach social skills. I teach life skills to the youth. That's what my charity does. We, important life skills. Like, some people just don't have these basic social skills. And I think Harry and Meghan would have benefited from some of the services that my charity provides, because they just don't have a clue. And Harry is now talking about how if a reunion doesn't happen, it's not his fault. It's like, well, if it doesn't happen, it's not my fault because they don't want to meet with me. Well, duh, they don't want to meet with you. Look what you've done. It's your fault. Why should they try to now bend to your somewhat apology? It's ridiculous. Okay. And now there's information coming about this secret divorce and, how they're trying to rework things. And yeah, let's just get into what's happening, folks, because it just never ceases to amaze me, this couple. It just never ceases to amaze me. Let's get into it. And so right now there are these new rumors around royal split is being trickled within the House of Montecito. Everything we know is, quite okay with Harry and Meghan, but there is, all this information coming around, their talk around what happened in Whistler, Canada, the body language, what we saw when the cameras were rolling, what we saw when they didn't think the cameras were rolling. And you saw two very different faces. You saw a couple that was putting a face on for the cameras, and then you saw a couple in their real feelings. Like for real, like I'm not feeling you kind of feelings. And that's what's happening here, because now it comes after the event in Canada with the Invictus Games year prior to the actual games happening. They're confirming that they're going to really be changing things now. The couple are indeed professionally going to be splitting. And we've heard this before. I believe it was some talk of this happening. And now they really are trying to rebrand that they're a couple, but professionally they're no longer together. Last week, Harry and Meghan made big announcements with a new business deal and a big new TV interview that beamed, we know, all around the world with Harry and GMA. Because if you saw that interview, they completely axed out Meghan. It was like she was just a side piece. She was just like, oh, the wife. Okay, Harry, back to you. The wife. Oh, okay, Harry, back to you. It was like they were not going to spend 2 seconds on that woman. It was all about Harry. Now, keep in mind, the charity for the Invictus Games Foundation is a English charity. It's not an organization founded in American charity work. It's founded over in that foreign country, the United Kingdom. Okay, that's how we Americans talk. Some Americans talk. Okay, so they're over there, and now the games are happening in Canada. Well, that's somewhat close to America, but it's still in a foreign country. And we have Harry highlighting something that is just what he's doing in Canada with Meghan there by his side, to try to see if she could also get some airtime, because this is not an event that's related to her, but she's trying to put her foot in it because she can get herself some publicity. But she knows professionally she doesn't really have anything to do with the Invictus Games. It is official that the branding of Harry and Meghan Incorporated, like them as a team, is definitely, it's done. It's kaput. Over. No more. First little known podcast, as we hear, Limonada Media made its global headlines after it was revealed that Meghan, and only Meghan, has joined the team. And she's going to have a lot more to say because Spotify, they were giving her all these people and support with her podcast. They were the decision makers. But now Meghan is able to be the decision maker with this new unknown podcast, Limonada Media, because she gonna have her foot all up in that. Like everything that she decides to do is going to be coming from Meghan. And I have heard, I must say allegedly, but you know, people that Meghan works with, the people like in her household, are getting a sniff of who this woman really is. And they have, of course, I'm sure, signed NDAs. But what's coming out behind the scenes around the people that work with her, she is not a nice person. So much so, like, she doesn't even want anything to do with the help. They can't even really address her. They have to do things more on the down low with the other people that are allowed to talk to Meghan. This is how narcissistic this woman is and how much she has got her own stank up her own butt kind of a thing. And it goes in line with how she's going to behave when she ends up working on this podcast with Limonada Media. She's not going to be easy to get along with, and we're going to hear about the splitting of this relationship too. It's not going to work. So they have both, we know, were hired by Spotify in 2020 because she got Spotify because of her husband, the handbag. But now, as we can see, Meghan on her own can get Limonada Media. Nobody even heard of them. Because, see, that's the category that Meghan belongs in when she's by herself. She can't command the high rollers when she's by herself. The only reason why she got Netflix because Harry was with her. They were promising dirt on the royal family. Oh, yeah, Netflix was in that all day long. Come on, let's give you a contract. But now she's on her own. This is why we're seeing this Limonade or Lemonade, whatever company coming out saying that they're going to work with her because it's just Meghan. And this is how you can see that they have divided up their work to be separate. Harry did his commercial endeavor with GMA about Invictus Games. Meghan was nowhere to be seen. And now this Limonada Media Company is doing its own thing with Meghan. Okay, so professionally, we're starting to see the cracks because they're split up professionally. At some point in the year, the couple seems to have built a sort of professional Berlin Wall down the middle of their working lives. Because I don't know about you, but if I decide to go out in endeavors with my husband, we're working together. We're going to keep working together if we are getting along personally. This is a sign of the crack in this relationship because they can't even work together anymore professionally. This is why when you go on this new website for Sussex, you've got Meghan's bio, you've got Harry's bio. And Meghan is trying to put her foot into Harry's royalty, but still being separate. This is why I believe Harry went along with this because he knows he's got to do his own thing as a royal. And Meghan is like, well, can I tag along and be branded as a royal with you, even though I'm doing my own thing? Kind of a thing. You see what I'm saying? So you can see, like, if you look at this from the perspective of the third eye, if you look at it from a perspective of why are they no longer working together? If you're in a good relationship and marriage, don't you endeavor to continue together? Don't you get through the hardships together and go off and just be good together? Not when the marriage is slowly breaking down. The first split is professionally, and you put up a united front. You like, all is good, we happy, I love him for the cameras. But when the cameras, you don't see them, you're just kind of like all in your feelings, like, I can't stand him. Can't stand him. Oh, there's a camera. Hi, I love my husband. I love him. There's the camera. You see how this is working? Oh yes, this is how it works, folks. So we remember back in March of 2020 when the Duke and Duchess decided to go the full stars and stripes. They were signing so many deals together such that I'm pretty sure that they invested in matching ceremonial Mont Blancs, Harry Walker Agency, Netflix, Spotify, Wall Street Asset Manager, Ethic, all got both the salt and pepper shakers that were Harry and Meghan. Now, who forgot when Meghan told The Cut in 2022, we're like salt and pepper. We're always moving together. No, you ain't, because now you're not. Something wrong. What's wrong, Meghan Markle? What's wrong? Yeah, we're starting to see it. You can't fool us because we smart. We get it. However, the ground has clearly shifted. The start of 2023 saw Harry release his supersized serve of fillings, spare and undertake the attendant publicity onslaught solo. But, you know, it's his tale, his truth, his journey. Meghan, we know, she went AWOL. She was nowhere to be seen. From his side, it seemed like a temporary recalibration. You know, okay, where's Meghan? I'm Harry out here fending on his own. He ain't got nobody to support him. Meghan saw it. She was like, I don't know if I want to be aligned with him. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if I want to still be married to him. That's the under talk. That's the side talk that's happening in Meghan Markle's head. Trust me, I know. I got this. But then came the diverging. The last 9 months have seen Harry and Meghan drift off on different paths, with the Duchess joining the books of the biggest of Hollywood whales, agents WME in April, and Harry learning how to fix a shed. Okay, that is pure speculation, but what else has he been doing exactly? He hasn't been doing much of anything as far as we're concerned, because all he knows is to be a royal. Their Spotify deal is long since dead and buried, and their Netflix deal is looking increasingly like it's about to get its last rites. That's what it looks like, because not one word about Netflix on that new website, not one word. Now you look at what's not there to understand what is meant by what is there. So if we take Netflix off the table, Harry and Meghan face purely a separated path. They're no longer conjoined by anything anymore. Meghan would imagine would continue to pursue whatever WME would be able to mastermind, you know, with this Ari Emanuel, who they say has been cooking up things, though in association has so far borne no fruit, aside from the Limonada deal. And I believe I know why, because as well as the people that work with WME, they've kind of not moved forward with her, because the celebrities that are with WME don't want to even be seen with Meghan. I did a story on that where their PR people said, look, don't be seen professionally with Meghan Markle. It will be the end of you. And that's what's happening. So even WME at this point is not really working with her, in my opinion. Because like, you know, I reached out to them, and it doesn't seem like she's too high on the list of clients, at least from my phone call. There will be some new podcasts at some stage, though. Don't hold your breath. Spotify had to wait nearly 2 years for Meghan to even air her archetypes. Yeah. See, these are not people pressed to pay bills. So for much of last year, there was all this noise about Meghan launching some sort of online business or website, all of which has come to nothing. She is, though, saying that she is staging a return to Instagram. We still haven't heard anything. Meghan has irons in the fire. What the dickens will the self-exiled Duke actually do with himself in the 2 years to come? Well, we know that he's trying to go back to England. He's trying to reconcile with his family. He wants to bring his children there. And you can see just from the stories around Harry and wanting to go back, he is not feeling it anymore, no matter what he says in front of the cameras about loving America. I say that's a lie. That's a lie. I don't believe it. Not one bit. Harry. So people are slowly coming out, speaking out against them. We know from their whole working relationship, because they don't have what the real royals have. The real royals have an institution of professional people managing their work and operations. Harry and Meghan just have people that are yes men. Yes to whatever they decide, because Meghan will not listen. So anything that they try to do with the yes people they have hired will fail, because they don't know how to say, oh, okay, I can do that. Or that's a good suggestion. Thank you. Or when they hear something they don't like, they don't know how to just shut up and go do it and follow the words of the professionals, because the ego is too big. It's too big. Meghan's still walking sideways, like this, like she's working, and she can't get nothing done working like this, because her head's so big. She knows she's trying to work and nothing can get done. She cricket sideways. She can't see straight. Her head's sideways because the ego is so big, it's weighing her down, and she can't work effectively because she's working like this all the time, and it's weighing her down. You see? That's what's happening, folks. I know. So where does this leave us with Harry and Meghan? Well, the two have seemed to have given up on trying to sell themselves to corporate powerhouses and the world as a package deal, who have now decoupled. The band will not be getting back together. We do know that they were filmed side by side on Valentine's Day, being photographed hand in hand. And then if you notice, whenever there's a press release that comes out about Harry and Meghan, it always says they were hand in hand. They were, lovey-dovey. There's all these positive words about what they looked like when they were doing said outing. That's for the cameras, folks. Okay, that's for the professional relationship to look like the marriage is still together. It is not. They are separate professionally, and behind the scenes, they are definitely separated as a couple, allegedly. Guess what, folks? We're going to do? We're going to continue. Sit back, get your popcorn, and let's see what they're going to do next.